Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Andrew Gibson, author.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for having me here, Andrew. It's great to see you.
Hi. I got a few questions that I think and I hope and I'm certain that our viewers could be very keen on. Well, first of all, can you please introduce yourself and how you assist people in start and grow sustainable businesses?
Certainly, Andrew. It'd be a pleasure. I'm a specialist in helping people start businesses and find those first customers, and also a specialist in helping charities to find sustainable income from their activities. And it's a similar process. The way that I go about it with my clients is to say, what is the thing that you're most passionate about doing? Who is it that helps? What difference does it make for them? And can we find more people who need that difference? If there's a value to the difference, then if you're a private business or a startup business, people will pay you for that value. And if you're a charity, say you're working with agencies, you don't have to ever charge your service users and your clients because you never will, you're a charity. But if an agency is referring people to you, what difference are you making for the agency? Maybe they can help you to find some money to keep your service going because you're making a difference for them. So my service is all about helping people work out the difference that they're making for people out there so that they can find customers, find sustainable income, and I pride myself in doing it as quickly as possible. So if we can do it in one session, fantastic. My record so far for helping somebody find the referrals they're looking for is 1 minute 45 seconds.
Wow, amazing. Well, can you please introduce your books, please? Because you recently published the What's Your URP, and can you please tell us more about them?
Yeah, sure. So this is a book I'm very proud of. It's about helping people to follow that process of starting a business, or indeed of working out what they want to do when they're working out their employment choices. Um, the simple premise is that if we start from that perspective of what do we love doing, so if you imagine something a bit like you with Yorkshire Business Journal, something that you're happy just to do because you love it, you're doing it for the passion of doing it. We all have something like that. It can be a hobby, it can be an interest, it can be something that we've just loved all our lives. We can turn that into a business. And this for me is so much better than trying to do something for money and then using that money to have fun on weekends, which is
Yes.
how most of us are brought up. Most of us are told by our parents, you've got to get a proper job, you've got to get qualifications, you've got to get an apprenticeship or get a degree, and then you'll earn money, you'll have security, and then you can start enjoying yourself. And it just came to me in my late 30s as I contemplated spending another 20 odd years of my career waiting till I retired in order to enjoy myself, that maybe I was only on this planet once and I should do something about it. So I've formed this plan, and it's been a long time in coming. It took 5 years to write the book, of helping people to work out first things first, what are you passionate about? And then the second thing is, how does it help people? And this is the thing about doing something, being prepared to do it just for the love of it. If you've got something you're passionate about and you think it might help some people, just go and ask them if they want some help. Don't expect to be paid. Don't expect your first customer to pay you. Just go and see if it helps somebody. If it does, ask them what difference it made for them. If there's value to that difference, you might have a start of a business. And okay, that first customer didn't pay you, but maybe the next one will. And when you're going with the engaging them for the difference that you can offer, then of course they see the value, they might pay you. And it's very similar in terms of finding employment. If you are passionate about something and it makes a difference for someone else, there might just be an employer who needs that difference, and they'll be interested to talk to you.
Absolutely. Out of curiosity, where can people find the books?
So the books are available in all good online bookstores. So Amazon obviously is the main one where you'll find it in paperback and Kindle. You'll find What's Your URP in Audible form as well. My second book, Make Life Simple, isn't in Audible yet, but that's obviously a project I'll be getting on with. But they're available in other good bookstores as well. So if you can find it online, What's Your URP? If you search for that, you will find it.
Okay, fantastic. Well, what has been the most visible impact your training courses and books have had on managers?
Well, one of my delightful projects at the moment is I'm working with child and adolescent mental health services in the NHS. And I'm working with the team managers there, and I'm working with their teams. And the approach of working out the difference that they're looking for, working out what's working, what we'd like to see more of, is helping them in terms of helping their teams move forward. If you think about child and adolescent mental health services, they're under huge amounts of pressure at the moment with pandemic and so on. They've had so many referrals of children and young people who need their help. And it's quite overwhelming, actually, the number of people that they've had come to them recently. So that puts a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, a lot of strain in an organisation which is already under a lot of pressure. You know, we all know the NHS is constantly fighting to keep up. So having this approach of looking for the difference, looking for what's working, looking for the things that we can do more of because they're already working, actually helps a team to recognize where they're making a difference, recognize the success that they're having, and if they do more of that, it helps them to make progress. And then it's easier to make incremental change when you've already worked out what's working than to think we've got to change stuff. And if you go in trying to make changes without establishing what's working, people think it's a binary. They think, oh, well, whatever we want us to do, we're obviously not doing now. And it somehow becomes this massive change. Most of the change we make is really, really small. And even in an organization under stress, 99% of the stuff that's happening 99% of the time is just the way you want it to be. 1% is causing a problem or an issue. Why do we spend all our time focusing on the 1% and forget about the 99? So I find this approach really, really helpful when working with teams, working with managers, working with entrepreneurs who've built their business beyond that initial startup level. It just makes things much easier to manage, and you get the best out of people if you take this approach as well, because they're motivated, they're confident, their morale is high. And so yeah, I'm really, really proud of the work I do with CAMS, and it's a pleasure to be able to help people who are helping so many people.
Well, based on what you just said, can you please tell us a successful case study?
Yeah, so one of my favorite case studies concerns a woman called Seema Bai. And now Seema discovered my book, it was recommended to her, and it's fair to say she became a big fan and a big supporter of the book, and she's been really helpful in trying to spread the word of it being out there. Seema was setting up her own business. After a long career in telecoms, she decided to set up her own business, and she chose to set up a business helping hospitality companies. And you can see where this is going, just before the pandemic hit. So she was really, really good at what she was doing, but of course, hospitality industry shut down completely. And I'm delighted to say that Seema, since then, has found work also in the NHS. She's now working on contract basis, and I think she's now got a permanent post, working in the NHS, making a difference and doing the things she loves doing. And she came to me recently and she said, you know, she credits her reading of the book with her being able to find this initially project work that she was doing, and now this turning into longer term employment, because she was focusing on what she wanted. She decided what she wanted. She decided where she wanted to make a difference, and then she went and found the opportunities to make that difference. And I think that's a wonderful story. And well done, Seema, if you're listening to this interview, because it's a fabulous story. And it is just that thing about working at what we want is much easier than working at what we don't want and trying to avoid it. Yeah. So that's a really, really simple story, but it's how people can take control of their own lives and be fulfilled by making a difference in them as well.
It could seem simple, but it's very powerful.
The most powerful things often are very simple. My sister described both my books as just books of common sense. However, we live in a world where there's a distinct lack of common sense. So sometimes you just have to write it down and be reminded of the common sense approach. So if my books serve that purpose, I'm really, really happy to offer a dose of common sense in paperback form.
I completely agree. Sometimes, unfortunately, in this world nowadays, we don't really have time to actually take a step back and think, and everything is just too chaotic. So yeah. Once you do make a step back, or you just wait for a couple of days just trying to figure things out, it makes a massive impact.
It does, and I think as well we tend to look for complex solutions. We we conflate lots of things together, and then we look for big, complex, expensive solutions. By their very nature, they tend to be more risky. Often, if we just looked at what the next small step is that would move us a little bit closer to where we want to be, that could be manageable, it could be simple, it could be quite cheap, it could be quite effective, and we could just do that and then review, and do that and then review, and do that and then review, and you're making progress in small steps. Those small steps are not broadcastable. You know, I think people are attracted to the big complex solution. Rory Sutherland is one of my heroes, you know, the advertising guru. He's written quite a few books, and he talks about, in one of his TED Talks, he talks about giving somebody a $25 million budget or giving them a $25 budget. And every manager wants the $25 million budget, but then they'll find a $25 million solution, which will take years to implement and will probably never actually deliver what you want. Give every manager $25 and ask them to make an improvement with it, and they will make a $25 improvement. Then give them another $25 and they'll make another $25 improvement. And if you've got all your managers doing a $25 improvement, you will very soon get all the benefits of one manager trying to spend 25 million effectively.
That's pretty interesting. Yes, I completely agree. Well, thank you very much, Andrew. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. And if you'd like to know more about Andrew's book, or you would like Andrew to contact him for a chat of how he can potentially help be of assistance on your businesses, please contact him. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Thank you very much, Andrea. It's been great to be here today. Thank you.